guys, welcome back to our channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. We are really glad to have you here. And as you saw by the title of the video, this is my Q&A following the completion of the 75 Hard challenge. And so in the last video, on my last day of 75 Hard, I asked you guys to leave some questions, and I've got some great ones for you guys to kind of go over just how it went for basically an average person, because I'm not an athlete, I'm not anything special. I'm just your average person trying to lose weight and lead a healthier lifestyle. So yeah, let's get right into the questions. First question is, what did you do to prepare for it? Well, first off, I looked up the guy's website. So the creator of 75 Hard has, a podcast. He has a career. And so he has a podcast and he has a website that the challenge is on, and it kind of goes more in depth into it. He has some bonus frequently asked questions that kind of go a little deeper into the challenge requirements that I didn't expect. So for example, if you do not know what the 75 Hard challenge is, it is a mental toughness challenge. Even the creator he said this is not a physical challenge. It's as physically challenging as you make it. So it's all about the mental discipline on this, which is what intrigued me to begin with. I'd seen it before on TikTok and all these big athletes, these strong men are failing at it. And I'm like, then why would I do it? But it's actually a mental challenge. So first off, I looked up his website and I looked up the facts and it went in depth. So for example, the 75 Hard challenge, these are the requirements for each day. 45-minute workouts, 2 of them. 1 must be outside, so you bring into the equation weather, powering through rain or cold or heat here in Texas. And he does caution, don't do it to your detriment. Whether or not you choose that's a fail or not is probably up to you. I didn't come across any crazy weather. We had rain. I ran or walked outside in a couple really rainy days, which was actually kind of fun. And then towards the end, it got warm and humid, and mosquitoes came into play, which I did not factor in. I didn't even think about it. But so then you have to follow a diet. His extension on that is it can be any diet that benefits your health. And now it can't be like the Super Size Me diet at McDonald's, but it can be keto, it can be calorie counting, it can be Weight Watchers, it can be even just intuitive eating. You don't really have to pay attention to the calories, just choose a diet that promotes your wellness and your health goals. And then of course, no alcohol or cheat meals. And then of course, cheat meals is very subjective. That's where you can kind of play around with it a little bit, in my opinion, because like on Weight Watchers, you get 45 weeklies. So technically you're not cheating, but 45 is a nice dinner out. So I guess some of this is very particular to the diet you choose. So keep that in mind if you do want to try it. No alcohol, that was never really an issue for me. 1 gallon of water, which he did stipulate that the gallon of water is easiest because of the 2 45-minute workouts. Your body will want that on the days you go harder on those workouts, which I did see that. 10 pages of a nonfiction minimum. So I thought it was gonna be super easy because I'm a reader, so that's fine. And he didn't really have any like expansion on that. Oh, back to the water, plain water, not flavored water, and tea and coffee don't count. So that is not stipulated on any of the little posted things, but if you go deeper into his article, no flavored water. And that's the only way I get water intake in is flavored water with my little Mios. That was hard. And then finally take a progress picture, which interesting enough, that is his number 1 failed point. People forget so easily. It's the easiest one, but it's the easily forgotten one. So so that's the 75 Hard. And so what I prepared by, again, like I said, going to the website. I also watched other YouTubers that had done the challenge, seen, kind of what they chose, because you kind of have to think outside the box at certain points, which is interesting. But yeah, I did that, and then I actually went through and made a list of all the snack ideas, all the meal ideas that I possibly ever could make so that I didn't stumble when I didn't know what to make. So I made a notes on my phone of all the possible food snack combinations, all the meals, lunches, all that kind of stuff, so that if I ever didn't know what to do and I was stuck, and instead of making a easy unhealthy choice, I could pull that up and I'm like, oh, okay, I like that, I have that, I can make that, etc. Question 2, what diet did you follow? So I chose calorie counting, just in a calorie deficit. So what I did for that is, and part of my preparation is, I found my maintenance calories because I knew that I needed to at least be in a calorie deficit to follow that part of the diet. So I found my maintenance, and then from there, I chose a certain amount of set calories, and that way, if I fluctuated above that calories, I would know that I was still on a calorie deficit by knowing my maintenance calories at this weight. Of course, as your weight changes, so does your maintenance calories, so I took that in consideration with that. So, calorie counting, Weight Watchers. I know two other girls who did Weight Watchers on it and did great. What was the hardest part and what was the easiest part? So the hardest part was not the 2 workouts. It was the water. I don't like water. My husband finds it so fascinating because he loves water. He doesn't drink pop. He doesn't drink soda. He drinks tea, unsweetened tea, which is basically water. Yeah. He doesn't even drink Gatorades or does not drink energy drinks. He just drinks water. But he does do physical construction labor daily. So anything besides water makes him feel sluggish. So yeah, the water was the hardest part. And then in the last 3 weeks, it got hot here in Texas. And with all the rain we'd had, mosquitoes came out. And mosquitoes will love me. That was actually I cried sometimes. From my 45-minute walk outside, coming in, I'd have 8 to 10 mosquito bites on my legs. That was hard. That I didn't think of, because I was like, I'll wait until after the freezing temperatures goes away, and then I'll be the sweet spot right before it gets warm, and mosquitoes came in. But that's fine. The easiest part was the nonfiction. I thought that from the very beginning because I am a reader. I just don't read nonfiction, so it was difficult finding the books, but once I found a couple books that I fell in love with, it was easy. I actually had to, you don't have to read less. You don't have to read exactly 10 pages, but I didn't want to blow through my books. I'd have to find more books and not know if I'd like them. So I actually limited myself, but some of those books I wanted to read in one sitting. Is it doable without a treadmill? I say yes, and I only say that because the first week I did not have my treadmill. I ordered it in time to get it to start 75 hard, but there was a whole shipping issue and they stock and all this kind of stuff. So I was delayed 2 weeks. So I did my first week without it. The treadmill did make days that I was just sick and tired of it, didn't want to do anything. I could literally turn on YouTube, watch some videos, and walk on a treadmill. Did Andrew do it too? If yes, how was it doing it together? If no, how was it doing it alone? No, Andrew did not do it with me. Not that he wasn't supportive. He was extremely supportive. He'd check in with me, say, hey, here's our plans for the weekend. How do we need to schedule it so that you can get what you need done? He was very, 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 very supportive. He just isn't, they're working a lot right now in this season, so he really didn't have the time for it, but he'd like to try it himself. And if he ever does it, I might do it again with him. Maybe, because it was rough. But it was good. I had to be my own motivation, but also the minute I snooze my alarm a little too long in the mornings, he was there being like, hey, I'm just reminding you. You told me to remind you. You want this. You should probably get up. I was irritated at him for doing that, but I'd asked him to do it, so he was very supportive. What are your plans moving forward? So this kind of goes along with the next question also is there anything you will continue to do from the challenge? Any habits that you think will stick? So weirdly enough, the water, even though it was my hardest part of the challenge, I think the fact that it's 128 ounces, the gallon is the hardest part. I can get in, 80 to 100 pretty easily, but that last bit, my body just didn't like it. Now, I was not going outside running a 5K in the heat, then yes, give me all the gallons. But I don't drink flavored water anymore. That was a big thing. yeah, so probably my pure water intake, I think, is going to be a great habit that is going to stick with me. Not a gallon worth, but like 80 to 100 ounces, which is great because I always struggled with that before. What day / time frame was the hardest and why? For example, like day 1, first week, second month, etc. So like I mentioned before, the last 2 to 3 weeks were really hard. And yes, it was because of the mosquitoes with my outdoor workout, but it also, 75 days is, I think that's where maybe the mental challenge comes into play that people don't talk about, is 75 days straight of the same routine is almost a little, like, it drove me a little crazy. Like, yes, I could have changed my routine up, but with my work schedule and with most people's work schedule, there's not much deviation from a routine in order to accomplish all these things. There's only so much time. Now, if you work from home, you could deviate your routine however you want, but because I had a 9 to 5 or an 8 to 5, there's not much switching up I could do. So every day it became a little monotonous, and almost like the the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So it's almost like doing that same thing over and over again made me a little crazy. So by day like 60, I was kind of like, yeah, I'm done. That's when the mental barrier hit. Interesting enough, it was not in the beginning. The beginning was fun because it was new. It was new and it was challenging, and I was like, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, so the last 2 weeks, it was really rough. Yeah, I was done. Pounds lost, inches lost. What are other physical and mental changes as well? For example, sleep, appetite, GI status. So pounds lost. I lost 15 pounds in 75 days in 10 and a half weeks, 10 weeks and 5 days. So I say that's good. That's over a pound a week, a little over. It's not as much as I wanted to lose or I thought I would lose considering the 2 45-minute workouts, but I'm taking it, and I think moving forward, bringing some of the habits I liked and enjoyed, moving them forward will help with a steady weight loss. I did not measure, and I don't think I really care about inches per se in this challenge because it fluctuates. So I have my very beginning of my weight loss journey measurements, and then I'm going to take it in when I hit goal. That's the only measurements I really care about. I don't really care about inches. I know I probably should have, but I didn't. About it. But I will put a progress picture up right here of my first day and my day 75 for you guys. And as for physical mental changes, I did notice that walking daily helped my lower back pain because I do sit in an office when I go into the office. And I sit for an 8-hour workday and my lower back hurts. Walking every morning, I was zero pain after the first week of consistently walking. That was probably my favorite thing I gained from this is less pain. What made you decide to do the challenge? I never wanted to do a challenge. I didn't care. I remember people talking about how it was unrealistic, but then I saw a little less Ashley kick butt at it in the beginning. Like, she started January 1st and kicked butt, and I was really impressed because I'd imagined it as a a physical athlete challenge, and a little less Ashley is just, she's us. She's an everyday woman instead of whatever song you want. But yeah, so I was like, and then I saw Enhancing Emily started, and I'm like, you know what? Let me look into this. So that's why I decided to do it. And I had basically been not plateauing, but a little bit. I've been gaining and losing the same 10 pounds for like 4 months, and I knew that the rest of the year would continue like that if I didn't make a change. Did you follow the program 100% every single day? To the letter of the rules, yes. Especially when I found out about the no flavored water. That's not in the rules, but it's in his like expanded information, which was irritating, but it's okay. I took that as an additional challenge. Even if it wasn't technically in the main rules, I took that as a challenge. What I will say is in the last month, that last 2 to 3 weeks that I was going crazy, I did get a little creative with what I considered a workout. And what I mean by that is, yes, I got my outdoor workout in, but I would consider mowing the lawn an outdoor workout as long as I got it for 45 minutes. And I mean, it's a push mower, so it's exercise. So I would put my Fitbit on, and well, I'd have it always, but I'd like do a workout and do whatever I needed to do, like housework wise. Like I'm remodeling a room into like a walk-in closet, and I had to install a bunch of fixtures and like wall stuff, and it was heavy lifting, and I spent an hour and a half doing it. I counted that as one workout. So I got a little creative with my workouts. Whether or not that should have made me fail, I don't think so, because there's no set rule to what a workout is. A workout is burning calories for 45 minutes. So I got a little creative with that. And as you guys saw, I did buy skates. So practicing, I would literally just stroll around the house for an hour, putting things away on my skates. I've never sweat so much than literally just decluttering the house on my skates. I consider that a workout. I burned way more calories doing that than anything else I've ever done. So that is the only thing I'd say might deviate from the rules, but I don't think so. What mental benefits did you get out of it? So I'm less hard on myself now when it comes to losing weight. Before, I wanted to be that speedy rabbit. Like, I mean, Felicia is the standard gold star, and she lost 130 pounds in 18 months. Phenomenal. Insane. But other people have done it too. So it's like, I wanted to be that person that just blew through my weight loss, and I did in the beginning. I lost my first 50 pounds in the 6 months. And then since then, it's only been 10 pounds. So I'm less hard on myself, because in preparing for this, I did a lot of research on why I was plateauing, what I needed to do to kickstart it. And I learned that after being in a calorie deficit for over a year, my body is going to get used to it. So I had to do something. I was not going to eat less. No, thank you. But I learned the benefits of weightlifting, and also calorie cycling, and like refeed days. So I learned a lot in this process that did help me lose that 15 pounds, which 10 of it was the pounds I had already gained, so whatever. But yeah, so I'm less hard on myself on how much I lose each week, because I'm going to get there. It just may not be as fast as I really wanted it to. Another thing is, I have a lot better tools when it comes to battling my procrastination. Like, even just in the little things, I'm like, I'll do it later. I need to put up dishes, and I'll do it later. Don't do it later, do it now. Do it now. So it's really interesting. I'm less procrastinating that way. Like, I just get it done, because I don't give myself a choice. That's how I was able to do my morning walks when I'm not a morning person, is I didn't let myself say no. Like, there's no option. You just gotta do it. What books did you read for your nonfictions, and what did you think of them? So I have 5 books here, and it was a process. Like, I didn't really know where to go. I've never read nonfictions. I didn't know like where to start, where to find a nonfiction, but I do have a Goodreads account, and so I just went to their, I don't know, was it 2020 top nonfictions, and one that I kept seeing was, this is You're Not Listening by Kate Murphy. It's about communication, conversation, how social media is affecting our relationships in how we speak with each other. I was kind of dreading the nonfictions because I've never read them, but they always seem so dry. This one was a little dry, but it had some really, 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 really great points in it. I should have like highlighted some, but one thing it did talk about was active listening. And I'm someone who I thought I was a good active listener, but it actually brought out specifically like, hey, Brianne, this is not active listening, even though you think it is. Learning active listening in relationships and in friendships and with my husband. I sat here on this couch multiple times, like, hey, Andrew, let me read something to you. And he's quality time is his top love language. So it was really good. He loved a lot of the points in this one too. Really dry with the whole, so-and-so with a doctorate of so-and-so does this research, blah, 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 blah. But it ended up having a good point after that. You just have to get through that part. The second book I started, I got off of that Goodreads list too, or as well, is Don't Overthink It by Anne Bogle. I got like 2 chapters into it, and I was like, I I didn't finish this one. But fortunately, I had just listened to the Papaya podcast from Sarah Nicole with the Birds Papaya, and she had an interview with a Dr. Edith Eger, who is 92 and is an Auschwitz survivor at the age of 16. And she has a book called The Choice, Embrace the Possible, and this is her memoir of her life as a therapist, a clinical therapist, I believe, or psychologist, psychiatrist. I don't know the difference between any of those, but phenomenal read. I'm talking like once in a lifetime read. Like, I can't rave about it enough. Phenomenal. This is the one I wanted to lay down and devour. If I'm taking anything away from this, it's this book. I'm speechless, but read it. Not dry at all. She is a wonder. Just great. And then, of course, so this came out in like 2017. So copyright is 2017, and then I think the second one, which is The Gift by her, this is taking what she learned in this one, and these are the 12 active steps into implementing the changes into your life. It's a follow along with this, and you can make the changes she made in her life that she learned by being in a concentration camp. But this one just came out, I think, last year, 2020. Yeah, 2020. So the interview was for this book, but she mentioned both, and it was phenomenal. Both of these I devoured. Great books, but definitely read them in order. I'm gonna give these to all of my family members. Like, watch out. And then the, I guess, fifth book, since I didn't really finish the second book, but technically fourth book, is Food Isn't Medicine, Challenging the Nutribulks and Escape the Diet Trap by Dr. Joshua Woolrich. Was another interview on Sarah's podcast, the Papaya Podcast. Phenomenal interview. He has a beautiful voice. Very posh British man. His Instagram's great. Great read so far. I'll let you guys know for sure once I finish it, my opinion, but really great buy. Came out this year, maybe in May. So, and lastly, last question is, would you do it again? On my own? No. No, it was a great learning experience, but no. If Andrew wanted to do it again, I would do it with him, for sure. If I tried anything like this again, I would not do 75 days long. I might do a different, I don't know if anybody's seen the 40 Hardish, which is great. Something like that. I'd probably make up my own kind of challenge, and I'd probably do 50 days. I think that's a good day length. But yeah, if I have a choice, I won't do it. But if Andrew wants to do it, I'll do it with him. So, but yeah, so those are the questions I got from you guys. If you have any questions outside of my ramblings, throw them down below. I'll respond and let you guys know. And yeah, again, thank you guys for supporting me through this adventure. It's been great, and I look forward to seeing you guys in our next video.